with today's class? Okay. So yes. So I'll be asking actually question and answer, and you have to answer it in the live chat. Okay. Now, these are the questions which we are discussing. Some of them have been asked, and some of them actually are very important. So, where is the headquarter of United Nations? These types of questions are very readily asked in the exam, and I have put the image also so that you can easily remember. So, basically, United Nations is headquartered in New York, in USA. Okay, so B is the right answer. This is the main building, UN Secretariat building of United Nations. Okay, so B is the right answer to this question. So, let me show you here. This is USA, and here you will find New York. And I'm sure you must be aware, recently New York was in the news because Zohran Mamdani became the mayor of New York. It was very much in the news. He is actually belonging to Democrat Party. Okay, so there are two political parties in US. One is Democrat. The other one is Republican, to which Donald Trump belongs to. Okay, I'm sure you must be aware of these things. Okay, yes, here it is. You can see the images of the buildings of a United Nations. The next one is United Nations has how many principal organ? Very important. So, or I would say principal organ. I'm not talking about agencies, specialized agencies. I'm talking about principal organ of United Nations. So, there are 6 principal organs. This is the logo of United Nations. Okay, C is the right answer. So, these are 6 principal organ of United Nations: UN General Assembly, UN Secretariat, International Court of Justice, UN Security Council, United Nations Economic and Social Council, and US Trusteeship Council. Okay. Sorry. This has to be very crystal clear. So out of these 6, 5 are headquartered in New York. 5 are actually headquartered in New York. So this one, all are headquartered. These 2 are also headquartered in New York. But one is actually headquartered, International Court of Justice is actually headquartered in The Hague, Netherlands. And this is also famously called as World Court. And we have seen questions from here, International Court of Justice. That is why we are discussing. UN General Assembly, all the members of UN, all 193 members can attend. UN Secretariat is headed by UN Secretary General. And you have to answer me in the comment section who is the current UN Secretary General. UN Secretariat is a bureaucratic body. Then we have International Court of Justice. We are having 50 judges elected for 9 years. That is what you should be knowing. Then we have UN Security Council. It has 5 permanent members and 10 non-permanent members elected for 2 years. Then UN ECOSOC is there. This is a parent body of many important organizations like World Health Organization and others organization. Okay. Then UN Trusteeship Council, for all practical purpose, it is inactive, although it has not been abolished. Okay. Let's move on. UN Security Council is having how many permanent members? We have just discussed. If you know the answer, please answer me in the live chat. So it has 5 permanent members, I have told you, and 10 non-permanent members elected for 2 years. So there have been a lot of occasions where India has also been there. And these P5 countries are having veto power. So if one of the countries will say that, okay, they are stopping the resolution, then the entire resolution will be blocked. One of the P5 countries, if they say no, that it is no. Okay, so this is, you should know, United Nations was established on 24th October 1945. So recently we have completed 80 years. New York City is the headquarters. So the permanent members, these are the P5 permanent members: China, France, Russia, UK, and US. And these are the current non-permanent members which are elected for 2 years. Please remember the permanent members. Sometimes questions are asked from the permanent members of UN Security Council. And UN Security Council is one of the principal organ of United Nations out of 6. The next is, which of the following is not the permanent member of UN Security Council? I have just told you about the P5 countries. And India is not a member of permanent P5 members. India is not a part of it. In fact, India has time and again requested to be a member of that. Okay, so China, France, Russia, UK, US. These are P5 members. That is what you should be knowing. Next is, where do we find International Court of Justice? These are the PYQs I've told you. This is Peace Palace building. Okay. So it is in The Hague, Netherlands. Netherlands का old name है Holland. I'm sure you must be aware. So there you will find 15 judges elected for 9 years. And there is one judge from India. His name is Justice Dalveer Bhandari. That is what you should be knowing. Okay. Sorry. So B is the right answer to this question. So I've told you this one, International Court of Justice. There are 15 judges elected for 9 years. Yes. So I have told you the 5 organs are here, headquartered here in New York. 1 organ is here in Netherlands, that is The Hague. Okay. And Netherlands capital is Amsterdam. Now, if in general the question is asked, where is the headquarters of UN? The answer is here, New York, where you will find 5 principal organs being headquartered. Okay, so this has to be very crystal clear. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Who is the current UN Secretary General? I have told you that there are 6 principal organs. One of the principal organs is UN Secretariat, which is a bureaucratic body, and it is headed by UN Secretary General. So the question is, who is the current UN Secretary General? And the answer is option D. Antonio Guterres is the right answer to this question. I have seen sometimes this question being asked that he belongs to which country. So he was actually earlier the Prime Minister of Portugal also. So he is an ex-Prime Minister of Portugal, and you can see he's actually from Portugal. So he has been UN Secretary General since January 2017. Now let's move on to the next one. Where is the headquarters of SAARC? Now these are very prominent questions being asked in the exam. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. And these are favorite topics from MBA for an MBA exam. South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Okay. So it is headquartered in Kathmandu, Nepal. So let us talk about SAARC. Yes, so these are the 8 countries headquartered in Kathmandu. So basically we are living in South Asia. This region is called as South Asia. So that's why they have formed something called as SAARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. For regional, let me write it clearly, cooperation. Okay, that has to be very crystal clear. So now, how many countries are there? 8 countries are member of it. So Afghanistan, Pakistan, India, Nepal. Here you will find Bhutan. This is Bangladesh. This is Sri Lanka. And here you will find island countries. This is Maldives. So these 8 countries are member of SAARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. And it is headquartered where? So Kathmandu is actually a place in Nepal where you will find the secretariat or headquarters of SAARC. Okay, please remember it. Now there's a short form for this, MBBS Spain. MBBS Spain. Okay, this is the short form of SAARC countries. Now I'm telling you because we have seen question like this. Which of the following is not a member of SAARC? And they gave one of the option as China. So you have to be very crystal clear. Whatever I have highlighted in the red are actually the member of SAARC. Okay, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Similarly, we have something called as BIMSTEC. BIMSTEC stands for Bay of Bengal Initiative. Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Okay. So it is having 7 members instead of 8. 8 members are actually you'll find in SAARC. In BIMSTEC, we are having 7 members. It is headquartered in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Sorry. Okay. So here it is. These are the 7 BIMSTEC countries headquartered in Dhaka. So how to remember it? So this is Bay of Bengal. Who is getting benefited from Bay of Bengal? India, Myanmar, Thailand, even Sri Lanka here. Even Nepal is also getting benefited. This is Bhutan. And this is BD, and that's Bangladesh. I'm writing BD in short. So even Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan is also getting benefited from Kolkata port. So the truck goes there, like they provide all the services, etc. So these are the countries which are benefiting from, I would say, Bay of Bengal, and that's why these are the members of BIMSTEC. Okay. Or you can alternatively remember like this, that, okay, first of all, let me highlight the SAARC countries. So I'm making with red pen SAARC countries. Okay, so this is Sri Lanka. This is Maldives Island. This is BD Bangladesh, this is Nepal, and this is Bhutan. Okay, so what we are supposed to eliminate. So when I move from SAARC to BIMSTEC, so red one is SAARC. If I have to move towards BIMSTEC, SAARC is having 8 countries. We eliminate 3 countries: Afghanistan, Pakistan from here, add Myanmar and Thailand, and eliminate Maldives. So we have eliminated 3 countries and added 2. So now this will be actually BIMSTEC. Okay. So now we are having 7 countries because we have removed 3 and added 1. 3 countries means Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Maldives we have removed. Sorry, I removed 3 and added 2. 2 are Myanmar and Thailand we have added. So it becomes BIMSTEC. Okay, BIMSTEC is headquartered in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Why I'm telling you this? Because these are asked in the exam. Okay. The next is, which of the following are considered as Bretton Woods twins? Very important. Just before the end of World War II, in 1944, Bretton Woods Conference happened. Bretton Woods is actually a place in America, in New Hampshire. Bretton Woods Conference happened. This led to establishment of World Bank, IMF, and there is one more institution called as GATT, General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. This was later on not successful, so replaced by World Trade Organization on 1st January 1995. Okay, these two were formed in 1944 only, and both are headquartered in Washington, D.C. So World Bank and IMF together are called as Bretton Woods twins. That is what you should be knowing. So the answer is here. Option B is the right answer. World Bank gives countries, helps countries by providing soft loans for development purpose. Soft loans means very small interest rate. Development purpose for least developed countries or poor countries. IMF is the organization which helps countries during balance of payment crisis. When the forex reserve is very less. When forex reserve, or I would say foreign exchange reserve, is very less. Okay, so that is what you should be knowing about. So again, both are headquartered in Washington, D.C. So here is actually New York Super. यहाँ पे मिलेगा आपको New Bretton Woods where this meeting had happened. Okay, so Bretton Woods twins. These are the questions that were already asked. That's why we are discussing it. West Bank and Gaza comes as a part of which territory? So I'm sure you must be aware, Palestine. This has been very much in the news. So this is MS Mediterranean Sea. Here you will find Palestine. Let me zoom it even further. So this is West Bank. This is Gaza. Gaza. This is West Bank. I'm writing WB because here is a river, Jordan River. So west of Jordan River is called as West Bank. And these two together is called as Palestine. So this orange one is West Bank. This one is Gaza. And these two together is called as Palestine. And here the green one is actually Israel. Okay. And this is actually Egypt. And I'm sure you must be aware this border was very much in the news. Gaza-Egypt border called as Rafah border. Last year it was very much in the news. Okay. Yes, this is the question. Rafah border recently in news is a border between which two countries? So the answer is actually Gaza and Egypt. C is the right answer to this question. Okay. Here it is. Rafah. Philadelphia corridor was also at the same place. The next one is recently Hezbollah has been very much in the news. In West Asia, it belongs to which region? So the right answer is it is actually from Lebanon. The capital of Lebanon is Beirut. It is north of Israel. Okay. So I'm sure you must be aware Hezbollah has been very much in the news. Okay. So here it is. This was actually in the news yesterday also. Houthis, Hezbollah, etc. So here is Lebanon. So organization based is actually called as Hezbollah is there. And in Gaza, we have just discussed, this is Gaza. In Gaza, the organization which is fighting against Israel is called as Hamas. This is Lebanon. There is an organization called as Hezbollah based in Lebanon. Similarly, Yemen mein, here this region is controlled by Houthis, which are again against Israel. So these are the things. So Hezbollah, and here is Hamas, and here is Houthis. All these three are, it is said that it is being supported by Iran. Okay, which they have called it as axis of resistance. Iran calls it as axis of resistance. So these are the things you should be knowing about. Now the next is name the new member of ASEAN, Association for Southeast Asian Nation. So it had 10 members. One member had applied recently, and like this year, it has become actually the member of it. East Timor. Also, you will find it written like this: Timor-Leste. So B is the right answer to this question. So it is headquartered in Jakarta, Indonesia, and these are 11 members. The new one is Timor-Leste. Papua New Guinea is not a member; it is just an observer. So let me show. So I've told you. So this region we are actually in India is actually in South Asia region. Yes. This region is called as Southeast Asia. Okay. So I would write in short as SEA. So these 10 countries have formed a grouping called as ASEAN, Association for Southeast Asian Nations. Okay. And they are headquartered in Jakarta, which is currently the capital of Indonesia. Although Indonesia has decided to change its capital to Nusantara a few years later, you will find Nusantara to be the new capital of Indonesia. But right now it is Jakarta, and headquarter of ASEAN, Association for Southeast Asian Nation, is in Jakarta. Okay, here is East Timor, which is the 11th member. 10 plus 11th member. Okay. So we have just discussed about it. Like we were talking about East Asia, West Asia. So this is, I've told you that we are in South Asia. This region is called as West Asia. West Asia, Middle East. I'm sure you must be aware of this. Sorry. Okay. The next question is, who are Rohingyas? This has been also very much in the news for many years. So ethnic Muslim community in Myanmar who suffered at the hands of Myanmar's military. So there's a region called as Rakhine state. So here they were the predominant population. So this is Myanmar. This region is actually called as, this is actually Rakhine state, where predominantly Rohingyas were there. Okay. Now, because of this, they crossed the river. They came to Bangladesh. Many came to India and many other countries also, because there were persecution that happened in the hands of Myanmar's military. So this also has been asked. Have been asked in many exams. So Rohingyas. This was also a question we have seen in many previous year questions. Okay. So A is the right answer. Let's move on to the next one. इस तरह भी question पूछते हैं. They ask about the rulers or the prime ministers and the president, head of the state, and matching with the country. So let's talk about this one. Okay, where it's 15. Lula da Silva. He's actually from Brazil, and recently we have seen Belém, which is being conducted. Like in Brazil, we have seen COP30 happening. So we'll discuss about that. Then Keir Starmer, everyone knows, is from UK. Giorgia Meloni, Italy. Prabowo Subianto from Indonesia. Okay, that is what you should be knowing about. Then let's talk about this. Question number 16. Recep Tayyip Erdogan. From which country? From Turkey. Okay. Xi Jinping from China. Then Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel. Anura Kumar Desai from Sri Lanka. So these are prominent names of the leaders you should be knowing about. Okay, yes. Prime Minister of Sri Lanka is Harini Amarasuriya, but President is famous. Anura Kumara Desai. That is what you should be knowing. Now, there's a very famous XAT previous year question they had asked about Glasnost and Perestroika. Which Russian leader is associated with this? So the answer is Mikhail Gorbachev. Now, what happened was, let me tell you. So he actually died on 30th August 2022 also. So there is something called as, first you have to understand, there was something called as USSR, Soviet Union, which comprised of Russia and some other countries from here and here. So it was Russia plus 15 countries. That was called as USSR. In short, we call it as Soviet Union. Actually, its full name was Soviet Union for Socialist Republic. That's called as USSR. So it got split, right? This is Russia and these were the countries. So even Ukraine was also once a part of it. Okay. So in 1991, the Russia got split, or the US Soviet Union got broken into Russia and 15 other countries. Okay. So how it got broken is a very long deal. Like we are not going in that detail, but it is said that one of the reasons why it happened was because of Glasnost and Perestroika. Glasnost means openness. He opened the economy, and perestroika means actually restructuring of economy. And because of which, Glasnost means like he allowed some sort of freedom of speech. Glasnost and the restructuring of economy happened, which led to actually the countries coming out, all these 15 countries. So that's why he was the person who took that decision. He was the general secretary of Communist Party, and additionally head of the state. So because of his decision, you can see it is said that Soviet Union got broken, etc. He got Nobel Peace Prize also in 1990. The next is, where do you find the headquarters of International Solar Alliance? Of course, the name itself says that it is an alliance for utilizing or tapping the potential of solar energy, established in 2015 by Indian Prime Minister and French President. It is headquartered in Gurugram, but it was formed in Paris, France. Paris, France, founded at headquarters is being asked very much. Gurugram, Haryana, very, very important. Mr. Ashish Khanna is the Director General. Ashish Khanna. Okay. So utilize the solar energy, especially in the tropical regions. You can read about it. Okay, in the tropical region. Yes, India half lies in tropical region. I'm sure you must be aware of that. The next is, who is the president of International Solar Alliance? I have just asked this question, so I believe you all should be answering it. The right answer is option B, Ashish Khanna. The next is UNFCCC COP30, very important this year. Like I'm sure you must be aware, since 1995, we are witnessing conference of parties happening under UNFCCC, United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. So like the prominent ones was 1997, COP3 happened, very famously called in Kyoto in Japan, Kyoto Protocol. Similarly, COP21 happened in 2015 in Paris, famously called as Paris Climate Agreement. Now we are having COP30 this year happening in Belém, Brazil, under UNFCCC. Very, very important. So this is very, very important. Okay. So where exactly it is, let me show. So this is Brazil, this is Belém. And near to it, you will find Amazon River going like this. Not exactly on the city, like it's not, Amazon River is not actually, Belém is not an Amazon River, but very near to that, I would say. And the capital of Brazil is Brasilia. Okay, yes. This is actually the class I have taken on our Law Entrance channel. This is also a channel of Career Launcher. You can watch it if you are interested in knowing about in detail about COP30. Okay, we have already taken a class and we have discussed in detail about the past environmental summits like 1992 Earth Summit, Rio Summit, what we call the 1972 Stockholm Conference. These are the things we have already done in this class. If you are interested, you search it. You will get a video on YouTube and you can watch. The next is, who among the following recently resigned as the Prime Minister of Nepal recently? And I'm sure you must be aware because of Gen Z protest. KP Sharma Oli had to resign a few months back. And after that, Sushila Karki became the Prime Minister of Nepal. So Sushila Karki was the first woman Chief Justice of Nepal. And she's now the first woman Prime Minister of Nepal, although she's an interim one because we have to conduct an election. And Ramchandra Paudel, Mr. Ramchandra Paudel is actually the president of Nepal. So the Prime Minister has resigned. Mr. KP Sharma Oli, the Prime Minister, had to resign because of Gen Z protest. The next is, who among the following is the Director General of WHO, World Health Organization? So the answer is Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. She is actually DG of WTO, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. But ye pata hona chahiye, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. And WHO is actually headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. In Geneva, this is a place in Switzerland. You will find the headquarters of WHO, WTO, etc. World Health Organization, established on 7th April 1948. That's why 7th April is celebrated as World Health Day. Headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus. And in the beginning of the class, I told you that we are having 6 principal organs. One of the organ is UN ECOSOC. So WHO is under this principal organ. So WHO will be considered as specialized agency. UNESCO, UNICEF, all these are UNICEF, UNESCO. These are not principal organ of UN. These are specialized agencies of United Nations. WHO is these all are. Okay, that has to be very crystal clear. The next one is, in which country both equator and Tropic of Capricorn passes through? So the answer is Brazil. Very simple. Let me show. So this is equator. Tropic of Cancer is passing here. Tropic of Cancer. I'm writing just Cancer. Tropic of Cancer. Somewhere here. Tropic of Capricorn passes. Okay. And the Brazil is actually here. This is Brazil. So it witnesses both equator and Tropic of Capricorn passes through it. Okay. And Tropic of Cancer actually passes through India also. I'm sure you must be aware of 8 states from India. Okay. The next is, through which of the following continent Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn, and equator, all 3 passes? And then asking about continent. So the answer is Africa. Simple. I've just shown you. You can see this is Africa. All the 3. Tropic of Cancer, equator, and Capricorn passes through. So this is Africa continent. Okay. That has to be very crystal clear. Which of the following is the oldest mountain range in India? So the answer is Aravallis. Himalayas are very new. We call it as Youngfold Mountain. Yes. Youngfold. Aravallis are quite old. And recently, this is what you should know. And recently it was in the news also. So this is Aravallis. This is Rajasthan. And Delhi, Haryana, Rajasthan, Gujarat. This is Aravallis. The highest mountain peak is Guru Shikhar. Okay. On Aravallis. Why Aravallis was in the news? Because recently the Supreme Court has accepted the definition given by Environment Ministry that it has to be at least 100. We will consider those regions where the hill is at least 100 meter to be the part of Aravallis. So many environmental experts criticized it because the height of Aravallis are not very high, and hence there are a lot of places where they will not be able to fulfill the definition of this, and hence mining can be allowed in those areas. So that is why it was very much in the news. Though many environmentalists said that this is a narrow definition and it will exclude 90% of the range from protection. Because if it is an Aravalli, it is protected. Okay, from mining and other activities. The next is, which of the following is not a landlocked country? Okay, so it was an interesting question. The answer is Kenya. I'm sure you must be aware. So you can see these are previous year questions. So Mali, Niger, Chad, all are landlocked, means they are not touching the water body. Here is Swaziland, this one. Again, they are not touching the water body, but here is Kenya. This is touching. This is the long coast. Kenya, you will find the capital is Nairobi. Okay, let me, Nairobi. I think this is the spelling. And here you will find the headquarters of UNEP, United Nations Environment Program. Okay, that is what also you should be knowing. Which of the following does not border Mediterranean Sea? I've just told you when I was talking about Israel, about Mediterranean Sea. Portugal, Greece, Spain, Italy, France. What is the right answer? So the answer is A, Portugal. देखो यहाँ देखो. This is Mediterranean Sea. ये वाला मतलब ये पूरा हिस्सा Mediterranean Sea हो गया है ना? This is Mediterranean Sea because these are other seas like Aegean and other seas. But okay, this one is Mediterranean Sea. Now Portugal is here, so it is touching Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so the right answer is A, Greece, Spain, Italy, France. So Greece is here, Italy is here, France is here, and Spain is here. So you can say these all are touching, but Portugal is going here in Atlantic Ocean, and this place is called as Strait of Gibraltar. Sometimes the straits are also asked. The strait which connects Mediterranean Sea with Atlantic Ocean. AO is Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so the answer is Portugal. Okay, here again from Mediterranean, this is Black Sea. If you want to go from Mediterranean to Black Sea, you have to cross 2 straits. One is called as Strait of Marmara. The other one is called as Bosphorus Strait, very famous. Okay, yes, Mediterranean Sea. This is Istanbul. This is the place where Strait of Marmara and Bosphorus Strait. This is Black Sea. Here you will find Ukraine. Which of the following river does not cross international border? Now, interesting question. And the answer is actually Tapti River, because Ganga, Brahmaputra, Ravi, Tista all actually cross international border. Let me show. So Ganga starts from here. It goes like this. So it goes to the Bangladesh. This is Ganga. Brahmaputra starts from Tibet, comes like this, then it goes like this, so it crosses the international border. Brahmaputra in Tibet is called as Sangpo, right? Similarly, Indus starts from here, goes to India, then goes to Pakistan, falls near Karachi in Arabian Sea, right? Indus. Then the other options were Ganga, Brahmaputra, Ravi, Teesta. Ravi is here. Ravi is one of the tributary. It goes to Pakistan. Lahore is here on the city. And it meets Indus. And Teesta also starts from Sikkim, goes here in Bangladesh. This is Teesta. I'm sure you must have heard about Teesta water dispute between India and Bangladesh. But Tapti is here. Tapti is here. It is entirely in India. Tapi or Tapti. Here is Tapti and here is Narmada, just north of it. So these all are entirely in India. Then Godavari is again India. Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, they are completely in India. Okay, so here the answer is D. So these are basic things you should know. Like this is Indus, right? Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas, Satluj. This is Sangpo, becomes Bangladesh. This is Sangpo, becomes Brahmaputra. This is Ganga River, right? This is Chambal. This is Yamuna, which meets with Ganga at Allahabad or Prayagraj. This is Narmada. This is Tapti. This is Mahanadi. Okay, this is Godavari. This is Krishna. This is Kaveri. This is Tungabhadra, which is one of the tributary of Krishna. This is Mahanadi. Okay, so these are basic ones. Narmada is here. Tapti is here. Which of the following is the largest saltwater landlocked lake? So the answer is very simple. Sambar Lake. So C is the right answer. So there is Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. Salt water. If they are asking, let's say that brackish water, so the answer would be in Chilka Lake in Odisha. Okay. Largest brackish water lake or largest lagoon of India also. Largest lagoon. Go and find out what is lagoon of India. Largest freshwater lake is in Jammu and Kashmir, Vular Lake. Freshwater. Brackish water means it is somewhere in between saline water and fresh water. In the middle somewhere. Sambar Lake is the saline water lake in Rajasthan. Vular Lake, freshwater lake, largest freshwater lake in India. So this is all about today's class. Thank you everyone. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.